awaits. Signals, the senses hum. Geeks paranormal, hear the spirits come. Stream and live to the curious eyes. Cameras flicker while the phantom flies. Every creak in the floor, every cold breeze is a secret the shadows whisper with ease. Protest a voice calm, but the pulse is high. Your driving pulses meet the other wordless sky. Bassline driving like footsteps in the hall. Guitar riffs wail as the shadows call. Poltergeist energy in the dance floor glow. Geeks paranormal makes the haunted show.
Voices in the dark, can you hear them scream? Streaming to the living in the dream. Ghost in the static, moving with the beat. Geeks paranormal, feel the night's heartbeat.
Infrared lights scanning the room. Specters appear in the EGM gloom. Podcaster insight streamers, keen eye tracking the spirits as they float and fly. Spooky whispers while the circle line respond like a portal through space and time. Every note builds tension in the haunted air. Geeks paranormal, the ghosts beware. Crowds at home watching the pulse unfold. Stories of the night in the vision was told. Dance with the phantoms, EDM embrace. Ghosts and humans share the same space.
Voices in the dark, can you hear them scream? Streaming to the living in the dream. Ghost in the static, moving with the beat. Geeks paranormal, feel the night's heartbeat.
Rise.
Lights flicker.
Heartbeat slows. Darkness pulses.
Are you ready?
Silence holds
Only the static
in G.E.E.K.S paranormal.
in the shadows,
Investigating,
streaming,
protesting.
forever chasing the unseen.
Whispers in the static, flickering lights. The night is descending. Geeks Paranormal. Seeing white.
And happening. You're supposed to say the lines.
Oh, is it? I gotta say that?
Yes.
Public service announcement. The views and opinions are the opinions.
Fuck that bullshit. They are my opinions and my guests, no one else's. Remember, this show ain't for chitlins' ears, so listening discretion and viewing discretion is advised. This is a paranormal horror crime show, so the scenes and the sounds could be a little terrifying to those little ears and those little eyeballs. And of course, there's obviously cussing. I mean, it's me. Also, please don't do anything that these stupid ass people do in this video or this podcast. This is for entertainment purposes and for you guys to listen with your ears, consume the knowledge. And now, time for the show.
Whispers in the static, flickering lights. The night is descending. Geeks Paranormal. Shadows know that something waits. Late night signals, the sensors hum. Geeks Paranormal. Whispers in the static, flickering lights. The night is descending. Geeks Paranormal. Shadows know that something waits. Late night signals, the sensors hum. Geeks Paranormal, hear the spirits come. Streaming live to the curious eyes. Cameras flicker while the phantom fly. Poltergeist energy in the dance floor glow. Geeks Paranormal makes the haunted show.
Haunted halls to the digital streams. We chase the shadows. We chase the dreams.
What is up, everybody? It's Shauna with Exploring the Paranormal Perspective, founder of G.E.E.K.S Paranormal, or you can just call me Geeks. Most everybody does. I have an awesome guest tonight. I've been running around like a chicken with my head cut off since Thursday. So I'm grateful that Heather is here with me tonight. Welcome to the show, Heather. Now, do you go by Woodward or do you go by...
Ashera.
I'm Ashera. Okay, I
either-
knew I was going to mispronounce that.
Well, okay, yeah. So for tarot and stuff like that, for like the psychic medium stuff, Ashera, I had Heather Ashera, but then like I realized that all my books have Woodward on it, and I was like, oh, I better use both now. Because people are like, are you the same person? You have like the same picture. I'm like, I my brows.
You know,
So-
Angel Veo is kind of the same way. She goes by Angel Veo, Angel Knight, Angel Ray, and I'm like, which one do you want me to call you? So
Any of them works.
any of them work. Just call you Heather. Well,
Right.
there is also another nickname for you, and I want to know how the hell you came up with this badass nickname, of the spiritual sledgehammer. What is the story behind that?
So it's not a very exciting story. So I was trying to rebrand myself and I went through ChatGPT and I'm like, this is all my stuff. Give me some names that describe what I do. And that one was one that showed up. And I was like, that kind of makes sense though, because when I do readings, like I've done readings for 30 years now, and so that's what I do for a living. A lot of people have come to me, and that's probably why it came up with that name, is because I put a bunch of my reviews in there to see what, like the thread, because I don't know. You know. But a lot of people have told me that when they get readings from me, either tarot or Akashic records or whatever, um, that it's something where they're like, yeah, it really, really affected me. Like it made me cry, and I had to re-examine my whole life, and I had to change things because what you told me like made me want to change because you saw all the things that I was doing wrong or was in the way or like all those things. And they're like, yeah. And so they come back 6 months later for another reading, like, okay, I did everything you said. Now what do I do? And I'm like, whoa, okay. Like, sorry, I didn't mean to like ruin your whole world, but you can. So
one of the biggest review things though is that you are like brutally honest whenever you read to people. You don't sugarcoat anything. So do you
I
get a lot
don't.
of
And
like negative things on that or?
no, because I'm nice. I mean, but the thing, I'm not a mean person. I'm just I'm not, and this is gonna sound weird because I'm a reader, but I'm not empathic.
Oh.
So I know, right? I'm not empathic. Um, and so if I see you and I'm looking at the cards and I'm just looking at what's going on with you, I'm like, okay, well, I have to tell you the truth. I mean, I'm not gonna just like be like, oh, the death card is such a friendly card. Oh, look, the tower card. Oh, nothing's wrong. No, I can't do that. So I'm like, okay, well, there might be some foundational issues here that you need to work on. Like, um, so I'm just gonna be really honest with you. It's probably around this area, and I bet you everything in your life is going to like hit you right here. So you might want to do something about it. And so I mean, this sounds so horrible. Usually people start crying or they get really upset because they're like, no one's ever told me this like straightforward. And I'm like, well, I'm not trying to make you cry. You came here for an answer. I'm not going to be like, oh, he's coming back and everything's going to be fine. It doesn't matter if he's so many people. Well, he left with this other person. Is he coming back? I'm like, why do you want him back?
Right?
Why?
Oh my
Why?
God.
Tell me why you want him back. If you can give me 3 good reasons why you want him back, I'll keep going with this. But like what I'm seeing here is not that. I'm seeing that, there's some codependency issues here that you might want to look at. So let's look at that instead and stop talking about him, right?
Yeah.
And that's not a lot of people have told me too, they're like, I didn't ask for advice, I asked for a tarot reading. And I'm like, that's what the tarot said. I'm sorry. Like,
Ugh.
I'm not gonna tell you in a way that's spiritual. That's not what
Right?
it's for. Not what it's for. If you really want true transformation, you have to do the work and you have to look at it. And so, um, I mean, I go to other readers. I don't read myself, so I go to other readers and I expect that level of like, tell me
I
what's
see.
wrong, just give it to me because I want to fix it. I'm not gonna pay you $100 so you can tell me something nice and friendly and love and light.
Right?
Yeah, I'm not here for
Don't
it.
just
So
sugarcoat it for me, people. Tell me like it is. I get it.
yeah, and it's not. I don't think it's bad. I think as a whole, like this is something. I mean, I'm 52 now, and I've always questioned like, am I actually doing anything for anybody? Because I'm not huge. I mean, I have a good client base. I've been doing my podcast for 10, 15 years now. So, I mean, I have my little niche, but like, am I ever like getting to people? Like, what am I doing? And I just kind of realized, if you can just like one person, like if you can change one person's life and they leave that person and actually get into a better relationship,
Yeah.
then that's fine. That's it. That's all you really need. So,
That's good. Now you said you've been doing this for over 30 years. You know that's longer than some people have relationships, right?
yes. Very,
So
I,
what ma-
yeah.
What made you, as a young adult or a teenager, wake up one day and go, hey, you know what? I'm just going to talk to dead people and we're going to get this squared away and talk to other people about this stuff?
Ooh, that's a loaded question. My whole family is psychic, so it's
Mhm.
kind of hard not to be psychic in my family. It, I don't think there was any other way. Um, I didn't,
They're just like, you're going to do this and you're going to like it.
yeah, I mean, I've been into this kind of stuff since I was like 12. I mean, I bought my first Ouija board when I was 13. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
I just kind of had a thing about it and always studied it, always looked at it. I gave it up for a little while and then in my 20s, I went back to it. And I just picked it back up and that's really, I mean, I've been reading cards since I was 14, but like I got really seriously into it in my early 20s. Like there was like something that just like awakened for me where I was like, I got to do this. Like I don't have any other way. And I really did try to do like the what people say is like the American dream. You know, I got married, I had a really good job, I got 3 raises and 2 promotions in like 2 years, and like
Wow.
I was balling. Like I had full benefits, everything. Like I was in the corporate world. But I hated it, and so I got divorced, quit my job, and was like, I'm gonna be a psychic. Um, and I moved to another state and just did it. And it like I follow I mean, I literally followed synchronicities. Like
Wow.
um I wrote my first book. This is so strange because I moved to Tucson, I went from California to Tucson, Arizona, and I picked up a book about Tucson, like the ghosts of Tucson or something like that.
Mhm.
And there was a bookmark in the book and it said, you know, do you want to write ghost stories? Do you know about the paranormal? And I'm like, hell yeah, I do. And it's like, go to this website and, you know, fill out the query form. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to do it. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I'm going to do it. Um, and so I wrote it out and the woman called me 2 days later and said, we really liked your proposal. Would you like to write for us? And I was like, sure, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
And
it
so
just
that's
like
how I
fell in your lap, almost literally.
Yeah, and then that's kind of how I did everything. How I got clients is totally strange. There was a farmer's market in the square in Tucson, and I was like, well, that's a great place for me to practice reading people that aren't my family or my friends. So I put up a tent and just did readings for donations, and that's how I got the bulk of my clients.
Wow.
Yeah. Like I totally DIY'd it. I was like, I don't know what to do. Like I don't know about this world. I'm not really sure. I just know that I have a passion for it and I have a tarot
Mhm.
deck. So I'm just gonna try. And
Yeah.
yeah, I got a ton of clients that way. And then from there, I didn't really need to do it anymore. And then I did Keen for a lot of years.
You did what now?
Keen, which is like phone psychic stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, and I got really good at it. And I would make my rent in like 2 days. So I would just get on there and I'd have my clients and do
Dang.
it. And then I would just have my other clients on the side. So yeah, there was something about it that I don't know. When I tap in and yeah, and so I've literally started this journey on a hope and a prayer, like literally. Like
And
I
it's
did not have,
been
yeah.
going great for you, huh?
It's going good. I mean, I stopped for like I mean, I did life coaching for a while and I did business
Mhm.
coaching because a lot of people who were in the business were like, "How are you making money?" And I'm like, "Oh, you guys are making money? Okay, let me try to figure it out for you." So I kind of like created a system on like how to make like money doing it, and then I got kind of then I did life coaching too because life coaching and tarot kind of go hand in hand. Um, but after a while, I just got really bored of it, and so owned a store for a little while. Like, of course, it was a metaphysics store, in California. And then after about 4 years, I was like, okay, I want to go back. I just want to go back and do my own thing. So that's what I did. But I always come back to it. Like I don't know. I always say I'm not going to do it anymore. Even now, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't do it anymore. And I'm like, that's funny.
Right.
That's not gonna happen.
I'm gonna take a break, and then it always calls you back. Like always that
Yeah,
pull.
always. Always.
Now is it the pull
Always.
of
when we're
the got the disclaimer.
Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
So is it always like the pull of just the needing to help people kind of pull, or is it the spiritual side saying, hey, you gotta come back, you gotta do this?
I don't know. That's a really great question because helping people, like, I know I am the worst psychic. I'm the worst spiritual person on the planet because I'm like, I don't really want to help people. Like, if you're like, what's your life purpose? I would like to stay away from people. Like, I'm not a people person at all. And then, like, you know, I do a podcast. I read tarot for a living. I do mediumship for a living. I mean, my side projects are writing books and paranormal investigating. Like, hello, these are all things that you do with people. But it's when it's not there, I miss it. There's something about being in that energy and just talking to people and being able to problem solve that I don't know, I really enjoy. There's something to it that I wish I could explain it better, but it's
Oh, I get it. I get my husband is a big introvert, but yet people come to him and flock to him and will talk his ear off. It's like you have
yeah.
something inside you that screams, I'm the person to talk to help with your life choices.
Yeah, I'm that person I'm waiting in line at the grocery store and someone will tell me their whole life story. And I'm like, wow, I just came here for mushrooms, bro. Like I don't I'm not in that mode. I'm literally in my pajamas right now. Like I don't have any makeup on, like nothing. And they're like, oh, you look like the person that I need to tell you my whole life story. Okay.
No,
It's
please,
not a
dude.
lot.
I just want a mushroom. Just leave me alone.
Right. I just came here for mushrooms. Like, yeah.
So you said you've written books. Did you write? What did you write the books about? Like haunted locations or your tarot reading?
So the first two books I wrote were about because I live in Tucson. So I wrote about well, I actually didn't write about Tucson. That's funny. I wrote about places in Arizona that
Oh,
were haunted. So I went to like the actual places, traveled. I traveled for like 3 months and then wrote one book. And then the second one was like all the leftovers from the first book. And so I had more stories to add to it. And then um I took a break for like 10 years. And I was like, I don't want to write any more books. This is really, it's, that's not to say I didn't write other things because I did. But then all of a sudden, I always do things in the middle of the night. Like I literally saw a query. I had an idea for a book, and I saw who I'm with History Press now, but they had a thing where like they're looking for new authors, and I'm like, oh, I have an idea for a book, and so I just did it like la 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 in the middle of the night, and then a week later, I was like, why are they emailing me? Because I totally forgot I did it. Um, so I took a break, and then I wrote 3 books in a row. So, um, so
damn.
Erie, Arkansas, Erie, Oklahoma, and then the last one I wrote a year ago, which was what is it? Um, Forgotten Places. Oh, Ghost Towns and Forgotten Places in Northwest Arkansas, which is where I live. So, yeah, but I wrote those like like literally one like one and then one and then one like within 3 years. So it was like actually two
Oh
and a
my
half. But
gosh.
right now I'm taking a break. I did actually query for another book. I just haven't sent in the proposal because I'm like, I don't know if I want to do it right now. I'm 3 in a row is kind of a lot. There was a lot of traveling that happened. And then right now I'm making a documentary. So like I want to finish it before I put another project on the thing.
You're an
So
overachiever. You do a lot of things. Oh my goodness.
that's what I do for
So,
fun. Like, because I don't have to talk to people. But then I
right?
say that, but then the whole documentary is about interviewing people. So like, what am I doing? So
Like I don't want to talk to people, but the documentary is about talking to people, so we're talking.
right. I have to do all these interviews with people. So I'm like, okay, I'm failing at this. Not
You
talking to
just
people thing.
cannot not talk to people.
Right. Yeah.
So, so when you get into like the zone of doing these tarot readings and everything for everybody, what just like kind of like the one you were talking about where she wants to know if they're going to come back or anything like that. What goes through your head whenever things like that happen? Because you say you have no empathy really for you don't want to really help people, but you want to be like, don't you ever just want to bash them in the head and be like, what's wrong with you?
Well, of course. But I mean, who hasn't been in a bad relationship? Like, who hasn't been lured by the sex or by how cute the person is, or you
Oh,
know?
yeah.
So I think when I say I don't have any empathy, it's because I don't feel into their problems. I can
Right.
see it when I do have empathy, but not when I'm reading. When I'm reading, I really turn it off because I really
Right.
want to get the information. Like, I really want to know what the issue is.
Mm,
Um, and so I think really it's like seeing the person and being like, do you really want to change this? Because
yeah.
a lot of people come to me and they just want me to tell them it's going to be okay. And I'm like, but it's not. You're in a weird cycle right now. And if you keep in this cycle, you're doing it in your relationship, but then you're also doing it in your life. Because if you don't have boundaries around a relationship, you don't have boundaries about work, about money, about anything really. So I always try
Yeah.
to look at it from that bigger perspective. Like, if I could just help them, like, and I say relationships because that's like 90% of my business is
Mm,
relationships, and then the 10% is money, career. Um,
mm,
but I mean, I've been doing this for so long. I realize, like if somebody asks me about money, I go, oh, well, you're probably not asking for a raise. So what does your relationship look like? Because how you're being treated in your relationship is probably how you're being treated at work. So let's talk about that. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like, it's just,
Yeah.
I like to look at the patterns and kind of go, like, not an instant fix, but I want it to, like, I don't know. I want to find that pin, that linchpin that you can pull.
Yeah.
So that's really what I do when I read people is I look for patterns. Like, oh, right here is where all of it is. Here's the apex of the issue. So let's fix this. Let's not put it in terms of relationships or money or career. Let's
Mm.
look at it as in, like, how do we fix this little thing right here? So, and then once people kind of realize that, they're like, oh, okay. I see how this is affecting my whole life. Now, I wish I could take my own advice sometimes,
Ugh.
but I mean, it's hard. It's hard to look at yourself and see those blind spots. So,
Now, have you ever had anybody come up to you and say, "I think I'm haunted," or "I think my house is haunted"? Do you like pull out your tarot cards and like, okay, well, let's see, or is there a way you can figure that out without the tarot cards?
yeah, I don't use tarot for that.
Okay,
Um, Usually I can tell you in 30 seconds or not if there's something in your house or not. Um,
really?
yeah, it's really, I mean, there's there's certain things that people, I mean, okay, so I've literally written 5 books on this, right? And so I've talked to so many people about, oh, this
Mm,
place is haunted or this is haunted. There are certain things that people say when their house is haunted. There are certain words, there are certain inflections, there's a look in their eye. Um, there's just something about it, like I usually know. It's well, first of all, people who have haunted houses don't really want to tell you about it. There's this hesitancy to, like, share it with you because they think they're crazy.
mm,
And there's just other little characteristics. And usually too, I know this sounds weird, but I'm a medium, so I can feel that energy coming off of you. Like,
mm.
uh, so um I do ghost tours at a haunted hotel for fun, like 2 or 3 days a week.
Ooh,
Yeah, and usually I can pick out the sensitive people in like the first 5 minutes. Like, I know who the stuff is gonna happen around. And I usually point
mm,
them out and they just go, because they're not used to being noticed, they're usually
yeah.
the quieter ones, but there's something about the energy of the other side, or the liminal, whatever you want to call it. Um, there's a resonance that happens, and so I mean, I don't keep it on all the time. I'm not that kind of person. I turn it off. I'm psychically dead when I want to be, and so, but when I'm in those places where I need to be, it's like magnets, kind of. It's like there's I don't know, like a well, not really magnets. That's opposites, but it's the same thing though. It's like attracts like. There's
Ah,
some
kind
kind
of
of
like
energy to it.
Velcroing together and
Yeah, more like Velcro than magnets, yeah. But there's
Oh,
something
nice.
there. And usually I can read the ghost off of the person.
Really?
Yeah, so if there's something in their house, I could read it off of them.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So I usually know. There's
So
something about it where I'm like, okay, your energy's off and there's something else going with you.
now, do you see the spirits or you just hear them?
I don't hear them, I see them, I feel them.
Oh,
So if I'm looking, like, say I'm looking at you and you ask me, is my house haunted? I'll be like, is there something there? So you kind of ping and you're like, is there something in your house? I don't need to see your house. I can just sort of read it off of you. And then I'm like, nope, there's nothing there. Okay, moving on. Or yeah, whoa, okay, got a lot of stuff going on there. There's just, I don't, that's, that's the part of reading that I wish I could explain it better. It,
it's all right. This is
there's
your
a,
thing. You explain.
I
I don't
know,
care.
I'm like, I wish I could explain it better because it's so much of what I do is so like just that, like
Mm,
you ask me the question and I'm in it. And
yeah.
um it's like I'm in the universal consciousness and as long as you don't have to be like phone, you can be on the phone, you could be through the internet, I could be typing
It's like
at you
she's
as
reading my
long
mind because I was going to ask her that.
yeah. So as long as I have a connection to you in some way, like I can see you, hear you, feel you, even with through texting, because people put their energy into texting. I mean,
Mm,
I do text readings all the time. I have a clients that are like, "Hey, I have this issue with so and so. Can I do a reading?" And I'm like, "Yep," and just charge by the minute through text. Um, and it's
wow.
yeah, but it's just as long as I can feel the energy, I can do it. And
Mm,
I think, I mean, just based off of years of doing this, I think I'm finding the person and then going into universal consciousness and then picking out stuff.
mm,
Um, which is why I do Akashic readings because it's the same thing. It's you're moving your person and you're like, okay, where's your
mm,
record? Boom, there it is. Okay, now I can see it. But
mm.
it's the same thing. Um, when I was in Tucson, I mean, I had a team and everything, and we used to do a ton of houses. And usually before we even got there, I already knew what was wrong with the house. It was more like confirmation. And the other thing that I find is a lot of times, and this is like most of the hauntings that I have, like haunted houses that I've been in, a lot of times it's the person. It's not actually a thing. It's some kind of poltergeist PK kind of thing happening. Um,
Really?
yeah,
So
there's
that's
been very
attached
few
to
times.
that person, not the property, or?
Well, the person is actually doing it. Where
Really?
family trauma, they just got out of a divorce, somebody just died. Uh,
Mm,
and there were so many times, like even now, there's so many times where I've gone into houses. I mean, I did a house clearing a year ago, in Conway, and
mm.
they did have something in their house, but I know who brought it into the house. And one of them was a paranormal investigator, and it wasn't him, it was his wife who doesn't investigate. And she brought it in the house because she was mad at him. And it was like they live near a cemetery. And I was like, oh, it attached to you because you're mad, and now it's creating stuff around you. But he thought it was his fault, and
Woo!
he actually stopped paranormal investigating because of it. And I'm all like,
Aw,
yeah.
that's
But
sad.
it was actually her. I never told her that, but it's actually her. It was actually her. And the person that I was with was like, "It's her." And I'm like, "I know, I know.
I know, but we're not gonna say that. We're just gonna say this.
We're just gonna clean the house and we're gonna move on because it's not none of our business. Their marriage is none
That's
of our
between
business."
them.
Right. And I I know why it happened. It's because she didn't want him to investigate anymore, and then she used
Mm.
this thing coming into the house as the
As the breaking point, as a
yeah.
what to keep him from doing it. Oh
Yep.
my God! People don't
None
do
of
that
my
to your
business.
significant other.
Nobody asked me. It's none of my business. I'm going in, I'm clearing the house. If you want a reading on it, great, I'll tell you. But if you didn't ask for a reading, I'm just gonna clear it up, give you the tools in order to keep it clear, and then I'm gonna walk away.
So what is I did read something about spiritual bypassing. What is that? Can you
Yeah.
explain that a little bit more to me?
Oh my goodness. Okay, spiritual bypassing is something a lot of the love and light, sorry if anybody who's watching this is a little light. A lot of the love and light people are very spiritual bypassing. They like we don't look at the negative. So if you have an issue, that's your problem. And
Mhm.
we don't want to look at it. We don't want to fix it. If I say something mean to you and you take offense to it, that's your problem. I didn't do anything. So, and so now you need to go do your shadow work. I don't need to do anything though, because I'm in the love and I'm in the light and I shine bright and God is on my side, usually.
Ugh.
Or the goddess is on my side. That's a good one too. That's what spiritual bypassing is. It's when you sort of don't want to look at the issue, don't want to do the shadow work, don't want to see your side of it. You don't want to see where you could be the issue. Instead, you put it on other people because you don't ever want to, like, there's a lot of people too that say, um, we only do things in the highest vibration. We only do things for the highest good. We can't move out of that energy. If you're saying something negative, then you're not in the high vibration. We have to be in the 5D kind of stuff. That's spiritual bypassing because you, I mean,
So
let's be
it's
really
just a
honest. If
spiritual version of gaslighting.
it is. I mean,
Oh.
let's be really honest. If you really want to change something, or if you're into the paranormal at all, you
Mhm.
have to look at the negative. That's just part of it. That's just
Yeah.
if you want to change, you have to go into the dark and you've got to bring it, that's what transmutation is that. It's like you take the stuff from the dark and you bring it into the light and then you transmute it. But if you're not willing to look at the dark, then nothing ever can change and you shouldn't be in this business in the first place. Cause like, I
You
know
are
people
spot
too, and
on.
this is weird when I hear this. There are like, okay, so for instance, the hotel that I work at, there was a lot of gangsters there, a lot of murders. Like gangsters and murders kind of go hand in hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a
Holy
lot of
cow, I'm gonna have to
shenanigans
get
because
with you after this, and they're like, "What the hell is the name of this
yeah,
hotel?"
you can come. I'll take you on the tour. I mean, like I
Sweet.
have the keys, so we can go wherever you want. But anyway, just let me know when you want to come. Um, but there's a lot of like negativity there because of that. Because of the prohibition, they were shenanigans, tunnels, like all kinds of stuff. Like, um, and I've talked to some investigators who are like, there's no such thing as bad ghosts. I'm all like, don't come to my hotel then. Like, don't.
Right? What kind of paranormal
Like,
investigators are these if there's no such thing as bad ghosts?
there's a lot of them like that. And they're like, oh no, you're not in the love and light. You're giving into the negativity of the situation. I'm all, look, if I'm in a place and I know, like last night, um, I did a paranormal investigation at the hotel, in the middle of the night. And there was a negative spirit that came in. And the people that I was with, I'm like, just letting you know, there is a negative spirit here. We're gonna like move it along. It came in through the spirit box, and I was like, oh no, no,
Mm,
no, we're not talking to you.
mm,
Um, but I knew who it was, and
mm.
I knew it was a negative spirit, and I knew they had no interest in being nice at all. I knew they were gonna just, trickster energy kind of
Right.
thing. But I have known investigators who are like, no, no, you're just being mean to that spirit. They're trying to do their best, and they're on the other side, and they're coming to you for help. And I'm all
Oh
like,
my
yes, they are.
gosh. Right? Usually, if you're an asshole in life, you're going to be an asshole in death, regardless. So,
Exactly. Right. There's no changing when you go over to the other side. It just means they
no.
they want to start shiz with you.
Yes, they do. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Wow. Goodness gracious. So, I've been doing this for a little over a decade. Oh gosh, going on 2 decades. But it's like, you see so much going on in the spiritual world, regardless, like the negative spirits. Like 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be demonic. It's going to be a negative entity or a
Yeah.
poltergeist of some sort. So whenever you go in and because you don't rely on just one method, how do you kind
Mm-mm.
of, how do you sort through this kind of paranormal traffic jam of like the tarot cards or your gut saying one thing or spirit box saying another thing? How do you sort through that?
I go with what I feel because I think the the best tool you have is yourself when investigating, for sure. Because you know when you walk into a haunted place, you're like, yeah, there's some stuff here. We all know that, right?
Yeah.
Like you walk in, there's a feeling. You know what I'm talking about, that
Yeah,
heavy
you
feeling in your
especially
gut.
the heavy feeling, and then you get that little bit of jolt of excitement because you know something is about to happen or something's going to go on.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
you kind of get that weird feeling. Yeah. So I mean, we all anticipate things. I mean, that's scientific too. I mean, they did studies with people, even people that weren't psychic. There's a study just recently, last 5 years, I think it was, but I wish I knew the name of it, but that's not my forte. But it's they put people in front of computers. And so they're like, we're going to show you a bunch of positive pictures and we're going to throw a negative one in there, you know,
Mm.
wherever. We're not going to tell you when. We don't know either. It's simulated, so it's all based on algorithm. We don't even know the algorithm, so we can't tell you. Sorry. So they put people in there, and every single time, anybody, doesn't matter if they're psychic or not, like the deadest psychic people, anticipated the negative picture like a millisecond or two before it
Oh.
showed up, like their responses in their body
Mhm.
were jacked up, right? And they could look at a graphic and tell, the scientists could, to tell you exactly where the picture was, and it was spot on because the galvanized responses all went up. They shot
Oh.
up. Yeah,
Wow,
right before the
interesting.
picture showed, not after, right before. So everybody knows. So we are predictive. I mean, our brains are predictive, and that's something
Um,
um that is scientific too. So I mean, we all know when something's going to happen. There's a feeling that happens, and last night a bunch of stuff happened. I'm like, oh, it's coming. I know it. I know it's coming. Like I can feel it because you just
mm,
you feel that excitement, like you said. So I mean, we have to rely on our bodies, but like I'm really good with equipment too. Like I want that confirmation. So usually I
mm.
go through with my own senses, and then I'm like, okay, I need to really know if something's really going on here. Then I'll throw down the spirit box, throw down a REM pod and kind of play
Yeah.
with it and see if I get any responses or cat balls.
Yeah.
Like cat balls are kind of my thing right now. But
Oh, they are awesome. I love those things.
yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I just play with things and see. The other thing too is what I love is like, okay, so my friend Stephanie was with me last night and we did some filming, and I've been in the hotel so many times, like I kind of want to get her perspective of it. And it's so awesome to work with other psychics because
Mm.
they see this whole other side. Like she's super empathic and she's super about like environment and feelings, and she kind of takes on the embodiment of the person.
Oh, wow.
Um yeah, so I see it, but she takes on the embodiment of the person. So it's great to walk around with her because I'm like, oh, this is like a whole different experience that
Right?
I'm not privy to because I don't have the same psychic abilities as her. So I love working with her and I love working with other psychics because of that, because you get this whole other thing. Um, and then there are people that just rely on equipment. And I love that too, actually, because it's so
Mm.
fun to like, you're like, oh, I feel something over here. And then people put the equipment over there and then it happens. And I'm like, oh, okay,
Uh,
cool. And they're like,
confirmation.
oh, got it. Okay, good. All right. But that's kind of how I balance it, is just being open to interpretation and being open to different modalities. Because I mean, I do use tarot cards investigations, and I have these things. Have you heard of Kanzari cards?
No, I have not. What are those?
So Kanzari cards are cards. I wish they're in my backpack, but
Mm.
they're these cards that are made specifically for investigating or mediumship. And they
Mm.
have keywords on them, pictures, and then they have like astrological signs and planets and stuff. So you can and I usually do it with like a REM pod, or I do it with a spirit box or something like that, or sometimes I
Mm.
use ghost too. But you
I
pull the
love ghosts too.
cards. I do too. Um, you pull the cards, and then it'll give you like key phrases, and it kind of tells a story. So then you can ask, hey, these cards are saying this.
Mm.
Am I on the right track? and it'll tell you yes or no.
Mm.
If it doesn't like what you're, I notice if it doesn't like what you're saying, it gets real mad.
Oh.
So, but it starts to like, you know, beep and stuff because it doesn't like what you're saying. It wants to fix it. So, and the spirit box kind of goes nutty. But a lot of times it's pretty accurate. And I've been using those for like 15 years. And I love that. I love like, oh, let's pull the cards. Let's get the Ganzari card out and see. Um,
Well, that's interesting.
yeah.
I'm gonna have to see about one of our friends because, of course, Pam's a little woo woo, and then we have Ken who's woo woo, and I would love to get them some cards and see what they can come up with when they go on investigations because that's an interesting thing.
Yeah, it gets really accurate. It's like with anything though, you kind of gotta like use them a little couple of times and then kind of get
Yeah,
the feel
feel
for
of
it.
them.
But once you
Mm.
do, um, it's really great for like getting a conversation started too, because I do notice a lot of ghosts, they don't really know how to express it sometimes. Like
Mm.
they're like, well, I kind of have this story, but I don't know how much I want to tell you. And so if you could keyword sometimes,
Mm.
they're like, oh, okay, jig is up.
Might as well tell them.
Um,
Oh
yeah, then you start to
God.
get more activity going. So yeah.
What is the scariest moment that you've had at this hotel?
Oh, it was last night. We almost left.
Really? Really?
Yeah. And I'm not
Oh
scared of
no.
anything. Like I've been pushed downstairs. I had a ghost push me over a balcony once and my sister caught me.
Oh, bless your
Yeah.
heart. Oh my God. Where was that at?
That was in Tucson and my sister was filming and she's a film person for by
Uh,
trade. But uh I went to go over and I felt it too and I was like, "Oh no, here we go." And she grabbed me and pulled me back and she said, "No." I was like,
oh,
"Thank you.
no. We're not
Thank
doing that.
you."
oh my
And
God.
she's psychic, but she pretends like she's not. And she's like, "Yeah, they didn't want you here." And I was like, "That's kind of obvious, but yes, thank you." Yeah, it was an angry spirit that didn't want me in the house.
Was that
But
something
that's
that
not that
happened
wasn't
last
even
night
that's
too?
no, that was like 20 years ago, and I thought that was kind of funny
Oh.
actually. Like I didn't really get I know.
I
I was
almost
like,
went
"Wow,
over
you're
a balcony. It's hilarious, guys.
well, because I was like, wow, you really don't want us here. Okay." It was they were renovating the house and they didn't want the house being changed. So they were moving stuff in the house and
yeah.
knocking stuff over and the people there were like, "What do we do?" And I'm like, "Stop renovating the house." I don't
I mean, just an idea.
That's it. That's all you can do until then, until the house is changed. But um last night we were up on the seventh floor. Um and it was the weirdest thing. We were in this room that used to be a bar, and we started hearing knocking on the walls. Okay, so it's the top floor of the hotel.
Mhm.
The only person that had the keys was me, because we lock it up after a certain point, and then the people that do the tours, they go up there, so they give us the keys, and they only have one set of keys on purpose because they don't want people going up there.
Right.
And the elevator stops at a certain
Mhm.
point, so it will not go up there. So nobody can get up there. Um, and our security guard knew we were up there, and he had already done his rounds. He's like, "Oh, okay, I won't come back until you guys are done. I see you're filming." I'm like, "Cool, cool. I'll see you later." Um, so we were in this room and we started hearing knocking, and I'm like, what is going on right now? And then we started to hear it on the roof. Yeah.
Oh
And I
my
was like,
God.
there's nobody here. And it sounded like footsteps going back and forth on the roof. And then it was going down the walls. And it was like, I don't know how to explain it better, but it sounded like somebody was running across the wall and then up on the roof and then back down. And I
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
what is going on? And there was three of us in the room and we all just stood there because we didn't know what to do because I was
Right.
like, what's going on right now? And then it stopped and then we started to leave the room and then as soon as we started to leave the room, it started happening again. And I was like, There's literally no access to the roof. There's literally windows on both sides of us and the walls. Where are they running? Like I was so
Yeah.
confused. And I don't know why that scared me so much, but it did. It real like I felt like I was surrounded.
Like there was more
And
than one.
yeah, I felt like I was surrounded and there was no way because I'm up on this, I'm up on the seventh floor. There's no way out of this situation. There's only one way out of the room.
Oh my
And I was like,
God. Wow.
okay. And then it just stopped. And then we left. We went into the ballroom on the other side of the hotel. And while we were doing an SD session, the knocking started happening on the other side. And I was like, we're not going over there. Like we're staying
Oh
over
my
here.
gosh.
Yeah, but we could still hear it. It was still happening. And just I'm asking questions and somebody's under and we're like, can you make a noise? And then you just started hearing it on the other side. And I was like, yeah, it's the same thing. It's still here. It's still
Oh my God.
that was weird.
Interesting.
But then the other thing that really freaked me out too, that I'm like, I don't know what to do with that. And this is the second time I've seen it. And somebody else saw it, not me. And that's what made me kind of freak out a little bit. There is a tall shadow figure up there that I've seen on the thermal. So it's funny because we have a thermal at the hotel, but somebody brought their own thermal and saw it. And I was like, oh, okay, it's here. We watched it. And that was like 3 weeks ago. And
Oh
then we were there
my.
last night. Yeah, we were there last night, and I didn't tell anybody there's a tall shadow person there. And uh the person with the thermal was like, "There is this tall shadow thing in the corner, and it's watching us." And we sat there and stared at it, and I was like, "Yeah, that's the same corner that it was last time the other person caught it." And I was like, "What are the odds of that?" Like two people seeing it at different times and from two different
Right?
perspectives, but it's in the same area.
Oh, that would kind of freak me out too.
And
Especially
that wasn't, yeah, I
because it
don't
kind
really
of
know what to do with
confirmed.
that. It confirms, but it's also like people ghosts, cool, cool, cool. Like I know what to do with
Ugh,
that, right? Not people ghosts, I don't, or spirits that are not people. There's no language for it. You can't ask questions. I mean, you can, but they're not really going to answer you. They're just going to kind of stare at you.
right?
Um, yeah. And I don't know what
Somebody
it's
says, "Can
doing
I
there.
get a medium reading?" You can, but you have to go through her, and you'll have to go through her after the show.
Right. But yeah,
um,
that was a little bit confusing for me because I was like,
mm,
how do I, it's obviously watching. It obviously knows I'm
mm,
up there. It
right,
obviously shows I'm there. So what does it want? And two, how do I communicate with it? Because it's not,
right, exactly.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. What does it mean when multiple time periods kind of stack on top of each other like a glitch in reality? What does that mean? Can you describe that a little bit?
Oh, like time dilation is what I call it. It's like when everything
Yeah.
sort of, yeah, we have a lot of that. Well, there's a lot of it around here because the land here is weird, but um I went to so the weirdest place that happened to me was the Fee House in Little Rock.
Mm,
Um, and I think it was on Kindred Spirits or something like that, but I've been investigating it way before them and after them. But
mm,
um and we kind of came up with before they came in, we kind of came up with the idea and then we had I didn't talk to them, but we kind of had an
yeah.
idea of what was going on and they like confirmed it and I was like, "Oh, okay, it's not just us." Okay. Then we went back and then kind of tried to figure it out more, but um we had two spirits that knew each other in life but died separately years apart who didn't know they were inhabiting the same place. So
Huh.
they were 5 years apart and were walking in the same building, but they couldn't see each other because one had died before the other one. So they were literally living in two different times in the
Huh.
same house and didn't communicate with each other.
Wow.
So investigators are communicating with them both separately
Uh,
but not realizing they don't know that each other is there. It's a really weird phenomenon. And then on top of that, I think there was a thought form of one of them there too,
Really?
because I knew the history of the place, and there was some made up history, and people were interacting with the made up history because they didn't do the research. They just,
Right.
whatever the ghost story said. And I was there for a few of those with some other people, and I'm all like, you're not communicating with the person. I know you're not. You're wrong. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I just knew the
Right.
history of the person. And I'm like, that's not who
Right.
you're talking to right now. But they're reacting as that person. And I was like, I think there was a thought form created of that person. So we have the thought form of the person, the actual person, and then this other person that are all in on different timelines
Different.
in the same
Oh,
house.
wow. That would be really confusing in an investigation.
It is, and and especially like haunted hotels or places that have a lot of history, you will
Mhm.
have like, okay, so the hotel again that I work at, you will have the gangsters and the cowboys all on the same floor. They don't see each other. They're in literally 20, 30 years
Different.
apart,
Huh. That
but they're inhabiting
is
the same space. But the cowboys are inhabiting, and if you talk to them, through spirit box or whatever, or through mediumship, they'll tell you what the hotel used to look like. Um, and it wasn't the same. And then if you talk to the gangsters, they have this whole other idea of what the hotel looks like, but
in different time.
literally they're literally in different times, but they don't know it. They don't know it.
Oh,
So
that is
it's like this
interesting.
overlay. Yeah, I call it time dilation because then you have your time too. So you're sitting in
Mhm.
your time trying to figure out the other times, and then you're like, where am I in all of this? Like, because I'm talking to them like I'm in their time, but I'm not.
Huh.
Yeah.
That,
So where
yeah,
am
I'm
I?
you're in your time.
Well, not to them though.
Oh, to them. Oh, so they're like seeing you in their time.
Right.
Oh, they would totally think
Because
I was a freak.
yeah, because they, if you think about it, I mean, there's times like, because women's rights were not a thing back then,
Yeah.
especially in Arkansas. And so like sometimes on the first floor where they used to gamble a lot, they
Mhm.
literally will ask in the spirit books, why are you here? Women don't belong here, stuff like that. Um,
Mhm.
so they're wondering why there are women in that area
Right.
because normally they wouldn't be in that area. But then I was like, why would they ask that? Because they're not looking at us
In
in our
our
time. They're
time.
looking,
Right.
right.
You know, that kind
They're
of reminds
looking,
me of when I went to the TB hospital in Arkansas because when I went there, they would look at me, and of course, I'm pierced and tatted and different color hair, and I was known as Freak. However, I would go back a different time, and they would lovingly, I say lovingly because it was always sound like an endearment. It didn't sound like they were being negative about it, but they were just like, oh, Freak, because of the way I look. So I'm wondering if they were seeing me in their time and my modern look, or if they were in my time seeing it and being conscious of when it was. You know what
I
I'm
don't
saying?
think there's a consciousness of time though. They're seeing it in their
Hmm.
time, wondering why you're there. Because they're not
Mm.
seeing it as your time.
Okay, I see where you come from. I see.
Yeah, it's confusing for me because I'm like, then where am I? Because
Right?
I'm looking at this room as it's dilapidated, right?
Mm.
They're looking at the room as they see it. So how did I get there?
Oh,
You know what I mean?
yeah. Hmm. That's that
And even
time.
when they're,
Let's
yeah,
do the time warp again.
well, yeah, because like you think about it, that thing that was running up and down the walls, there might have been a staircase there that I don't know about a long time
Hmm.
ago.
Yeah. True. True.
So it's thinking it's
Oh.
running up and down stairs, or it's running between rooms.
Can you get like blueprints of the area and see if there's like maybe there was some stairs or anything that time?
It's really hard to find that stuff here. I wish I
Oh.
could, but like if it so the funny part is that part of the hotel probably didn't exist because it's newer. There was another
Oh.
house before that. So then you think about it and you're like, okay, if it was the 1890s hotel, this floor didn't exist. So they might have been thinking they're running on the roof
Oh. That's true.
because
Ah,
or they
interesting.
might have been going upstairs to the roof, or they
Yeah.
might have been running down. The other hotel had a lot of stairs. I've seen pictures of it.
Oh.
There are pictures that go up. You can get to the roof through the stairs.
Oh, wow.
Or it could be that they're running on their floor, on the fourth
Mhm.
floor, not knowing that they're on the seventh floor.
That is very interesting. Oh man,
Yeah,
talk about
because
scientific. You want to get in there and get with all this like scientific method. Let's do this.
yeah, no, I get really confused because like just because I'm seeing a certain way and it's scary to me
Mhm.
doesn't mean to them they might just be trying to get my attention, thinking
Yeah,
they're doing something that they're not.
right. They're running up
Even
to
though it's
you.
scary to me, it might just be them thinking it's funny.
That's too true too.
Yeah.
So you were talking about your readings earlier. You were talking about how people are like, I didn't come here for your advice. I just came here to get a reading and stuff like that. When it comes to kind of like shadow work, that's kind of like stuff people don't want to look at about themselves. So how do you get someone to face their own darkness without them running away?
You don't. That's I mean, you don't.
They just have to take it and
People,
leave it.
if you don't want to hear it, you don't want to hear it. I can tell you all
Right.
day how to fix things. If you don't want to hear it, you don't want to hear it. And usually if I start to get the pushback, then I will
Mhm.
go back into like, okay, your life is fine.
Mm.
Let's find something in this. And then, I'll do it surface. Um, but I mean, my website pretty much lays out how I do things. So if you're looking at something that's a little bit, if you're wanting that fluff,
Mm.
I mean, I can give it to you, but what's the
So
point then?
exactly. Exactly. And like you also said that sometimes emotional, sometimes behavioral, sometimes environmental, and sometimes spirit. And sometimes it's all kind of just tangled together. What's the most complicated case you've worked where it was literally all of them?
Um, on paranormal or well, for the paranormal, I can tell you that we went to this
Mm,
house and the walls literally shook and it was
really?
weird. Yeah, it was a really weird house. I didn't even like being in that house. Because the mother would start talking and the walls would start shaking. And I was like, okay, every time. And she's
Oh.
like, see, and then doors would start opening and closing and stuff like that. It was a really, really weird house. Like that's not the only thing, but um, so I used to have an intake form, when you do investigations to people's houses, and then you have to like make sure that
Mhm.
they're not going to sue you or anything. So we would have them do this whole process, and then if they could get through the questionnaire, then we knew that they actually wanted help. So it was a great like way. Well, she filled it out extensively, but then we were like, okay, there's some abuse happening here. There's some old feelings. We have
Mm,
ancestors that are kind of in the way because they don't want things to change, and they also don't want the shame to come through.
mm,
Um, and it was just a really weird case because the mom truly wanted the house to stop being haunted, but then she didn't want to face the abuse and she didn't want to look at her ancestors. And like that was the one case where I was like, we really can't do anything. We can tell you where the we can tell you where the activity is. It's really obvious where it is. We can tell
mm,
you who's here. But after that, like y'all need some therapy and y'all need to like get right or something. I don't know. Like you got ancestor, you know what I mean? Like I was just like, I don't know, like y'all need a spiritual cleansing or something because
mm,
um this is generational trauma And then like some of the activity was actually their relatives telling her to shut up. That's why every time she started talking, the house
The
would
walls
shake.
are oh.
Yeah.
Wow, rude. Oh my gosh.
So her wanting to talk was like the kind of the activity would start. But the problem was is she wanted to talk about it, but she didn't want to do anything about it.
Right.
So that was
Oh my
really weird.
gosh.
The other case, I can't do some really weird things sometimes. I went and investigated this house, and I'm interviewing this woman, and in the middle of the interview, she's like, "Yeah, so my grandparents used to own this house, and they used to do ritual sacrifice in the backyard anyway," and then started going about the activity. And I was like, hold on. Back up. And then she's like, "Oh yeah." And then my cousin, there are train tracks there, and she's like, "My cousin, he went on the train tracks and he got hit by the train tracks, and we think it had something to do with my grandfather because he needed a sacrifice of some sort for some ritual, and they took the body parts." And I was like, the way that she said it was like so nonchalant. Um, And I'm like, are you talking about like human sacrifice? Well, sometimes, but mostly, like voodoo, like chickens and like animal sacrifice. And then I'm like, wait, you just put human and chickens in the same set. I was so confused, and I thought she was like lying. And then we started talking to some other relatives, like, oh no, that really happened. And I was like, I don't know what to do right now. Like this was
Right?
25 years ago, and and this is like
Yeah.
someone asked me to come to this house because they were like, "Oh, you're into witchcraft, so maybe you might be able to help." And the whole time I'm in this house, I kept tasting blood.
Oh God.
And I was like, "What is going on with the blood?" And then there's one room that was like had the blood taste so strong, and the guy was in, he's like, "Oh, this is the ritual room. This is where the grandma stayed, and this is where she prayed to Satan." And I'm like, okay, that might have been good to know before I came in here, but that was the weirdest case ever. That was one where
Right?
the TV turned on by itself, and then we had these balls, and they all rolled into the living room together, and the TV turned on by itself, and we were like, okay, it's time to go.
Right? Oh
Time to
my
go.
God. The
So we
minute I
walked
heard
out.
human, I was like, I'm out. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna be your
So we
sacrifice.
At that time, it was like 3 in the morning. We walked outside and we are like, okay, we just need a breather because that was really weird because all the balls rolled in and then the TV turned on.
Mm.
And I was like, okay, I need a break. And so we went outside and we're like, do we go back in or not? Because the TV is still on. Um, and we're sitting outside and one of the people is smoking and we're just sitting there. Um, and I'll never forget this. There was these blinds. We literally saw something pull down the blinds and stare at us.
Oh my God.
Like, and I was like, you saw that, right? The person was with me, and he's like, yep, it's time to go. It's time to go.
Yeah. I
But
would
then
have
we just sat
been.
there and we watched. We watched, then it closed, and they were waiting for us to leave and opened it again. And all you could see was eyes. And I was like, was there anybody else in the house? And he was like, no, it's just us. Like, we literally are the people that have the keys. Nobody knows we're here. And I'm like, okay, I'm
Oh.
out.
Ah,
That was the last time I went to that house because I was like, we got taste blood, ritual sacrifice. Like, I don't,
yeah.
what do you do with that? I don't know what to do with that. Like, that was the one case where I'm like, I don't know how to fix this.
Could you have like maybe have referred to like a priest or like a Catholic priest or something like that?
Well, yeah, that they had the house blessed like 3 or 4 times.
Jeez, that sounds like
And
something
then
the police should be involved in.
I know, and then that's why they had an investigator come in, is because they had done all
Yeah.
these other things. And then my friend had investigated it, and he's like, yeah, this is even too, I can't do this. I need like a psychic or somebody who knows witchcraft. Or so I was brought in, and then I brought in a few other people that were sensitive, and everybody that came into that house was like, what's going on with the sacrifices? I see blood. I see like everybody who came in, I didn't tell them anything. Like everybody felt it. And then one psychic said, I don't mean to freak you out, but there are bones in the backyard. And I'm like, what do you mean bones? And she says, yeah, they bury people in the backyard. And I had never told her about the sacrifice part. And then for a while they were trying to figure out, should we dig up the backyard or not? But they were like, well, it's not our property, so we can't really do that. But like, yeah,
Oh
that was
my
a very
gosh.
strange one where I was like, I don't
Yeah.
even know.
What to
I
do? I
don't
mean, like, what
what to
can you
do.
do? The only thing you can that I can even think of to do is go to the police. I mean, like, you might think I'm crazy, but Ossifer, let me tell you something. I'm not as crazy
Right.
as you think I am whenever I'm telling you this.
I think we had 3 or 4 investigative teams go through there because we were like, what do we do? And everyone's like, I
Right?
don't know. I don't know. And then they
Mm.
shortly after that, they sold the house to another person. And I was like, I feel bad. I don't, oh,
Uh,
okay. Like they let the house
oh,
go. And I was like, I feel sorry for the people that bought that house because I don't
yeah. Oh my God,
just,
that would be the
yeah.
freakiest thing. Oh, yeah, I would have cut
That was a
ties with
really
that
weird one
too.
though. Usually I'm like, oh, this is what's wrong. This is what you need to do. Let's clear the house. It's fine. We'll get it. Or you're not dealing with your trauma. We need to get you to calm down. Here's some exercises you can do, and then the thing will go away. And you call them in 2 weeks, and they did the thing, and the stuff goes away. It's usually like really straightforward. I'm telling you the
Yeah.
ones that I'm like, what? Like the guy that tried to push me over the thing. Like,
Yep.
how do we get rid of this? Stop renovating. Well, we're not going to stop renovating. I then he's not going away.
Right?
It's his house, renovating his house. Like,
Oh my gosh.
I don't.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can some people you just can't tell. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just not gonna do anything. Now going
Right.
back to your podcast situation, because you said you had a podcast earlier. What is your podcast about and what made you want to start it?
Um, so I have a big mouth and I have a lot of opinions. And they go hand in hand with podcasting, I found out. Um,
They do. They really do.
and I just kind of wanted to put like my spin on things because I just think about things differently, I noticed.
Mm,
Even as a psychic, I think about things differently because um when I got really into being psychic, I studied like the noetic sciences. I studied psi. Read all of Gene Radin stuff. I got really into like the scientific aspect of it. Because I really just kind of wanted to know like what is this? And then I kind of realized that people don't do that. Most psychics are like, oh, it's a gift.
ah,
And I'm like, don't you want to
I'm not gonna
know what
research it. I'm
it
just
is?
gonna do it.
Yeah. And they're like, well, it just must be a gift, and I'm just gonna honor the gift. And I'm all like, so one, why do I feel like I should charge money for it? Because I've never had a problem with charging money. People are like, why don't you, why don't you feel bad about that? Why should I feel bad? If it's a gift, then
Right?
I'm gonna use it, right? But then I
Exactly.
started to like learn about psi and and parapsychology, and then once you look at the numbers and you're like, oh, okay, just some people are better at than others, and all that's to do with environment and belief systems, and okay, I must just truly believe more than most people that I'm psychic because it comes down to that. There,
Right.
belief is like about 80% of everything. So, I mean, even so, there are like studies that show that people who believe in psychic abilities have more psychic abilities than those who don't. Like literally,
Really?
it's called the sheep goat effect. They've been doing the study since the 40s, and they always get the same result, which is that people who truly believe in psychic abilities and believe in the impossible have more psychic abilities than those who don't. Also, did you know that 90% of people in the whole world 90% say that they've had at least one psychic or paranormal experience in their lifetime.
Really? I did
Yeah,
not know
it's a
that.
really high number. People just don't talk about it. So once I realized that, I was like, well, I better talk about this and do things about it. But then um, but then I've had UFO experiences, I've had Bigfoot experiences, I've had all kinds of other kinds of experiences, and I'm like, well, we got to talk about all of it. So, um, I'm just really opinionated, and I don't know. And I also like
Hey,
conspiracy theories a lot, so I talk about them a lot.
same.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you've seen the post that I reposted that Keith Age posted about the people that were involved in NASA and the nuclear warfare
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
gone missing.
Hmm.
Come on,
So I'm actually,
people.
yeah, I'm actually doing a podcast about it right now. I was recording it. I started recording it yesterday, and I just did the first person. And I'm all like, yeah, this is this is this is way more than what we think it is.
Oh yeah.
So I had to put down the recorder and the research because I was like, this is turning a cult. I don't know how to get out of here. The
Right.
rabbit hole is so deep. And that was like the first person. And I was like, I got 10 more of these people to go. Actually, there's 15 now they found. So four more people got added in the last 2 days. So
Right, and all of them has been added since like it's all
yeah,
been happening since like what was it, January of last year, March of last year? Like a lot of the
yeah,
deaths and a lot of the
yeah, like
missing. Yeah.
yeah. So I that to me is interesting. And then I started looking at who are all these people in Ancient Aliens that have died, and there's three in a row in the last 6 months. But then my friend sent me a post that said it's not three. There's actually like 12 people from Ancient Aliens that have died in the last 5 years. And I was like, oh, so we have this whole other set of people. So
Right.
I'm gonna do some overlap and see, like, I'm gonna see if there's some overlap or if there's like, what are they talking about? And what are these people talking about? Because the David Wilcock thing like really threw me. Him dying
Yeah.
really threw me.
Why?
He's because he thinks that he's the reincarnation of Edgar Casey. So why would you off yourself?
Right?
If you thought you were a prophet, he wrote a book about it, about all the coincidence. They have the same birthday and everything. Like there are so many coincidences with him and Edgar Casey. Why would he not want to live his life to the fullest? Like I know that he got divorced. He was having mental problems. He was having financial problems. Um, so I know that there was something going on with him, but like he's also a Pisces. And like water signs, come on, we're dramatic. That's
Yeah.
how it is. There's no reason why he wouldn't have bounced back from it. There's
Right.
no reason. I don't think somebody who thinks they're reincarnation of Edgar Casey would even do something like that. And then
Yeah.
he was talking about ascension and 5G, and he was talking about the new world order that's coming in, and he's very much into Archangel Michael. So he felt
Mm,
protected, but he also felt like he was being used, which goes in hand in
mm.
hand. So I mean, in a way, he did have this martyr mentality, but don't all water signs? That's kind of a thing. So I don't know. I If he did kill himself, I really believe he was pushed into it and not on a
Oh
list
yeah.
somewhere.
I don't think it's
But
kind of like the suicides that were going on a while back from this one
yeah,
particular high ranking person that I
yes,
mean there was one of them very questionable, 2 shots to the head. Come on now. I mean, I don't
right.
know if
You're like,
anybody's gonna be able to do
yeah,
that. Mm, come on, tell it somebody else that's stupid because I'm not.
right. It's just. But I think people are wising up to it though. I think I mean everyone's like, well, it's about disclosure. I'm like, yeah, and like they wouldn't be, it is, but it's not. Disclosure is coming
Mm,
whether we like it or not.
yep.
I'm fully on board with Project Bluebeam. I really think it's going to be a psyop. Um,
Hmm.
but that's fine. Um, but I think people are really kind of tuning into that. Because even this thing that happened at the White House yesterday,
I heard about that on
um,
my way home today. I'm like, what the hell? Oh.
yeah, even that. Um, so I'm always curious about like what people feel about it.
Mm,
And I went on TikTok, looked it up, went on Facebook. Facebook is usually like where more conservative people hang out. So I always go there first to
Mm,
kind of see the other side, right? And
mm,
there was not one comment that said, "Oh, that's terrible that that happened. Oh my God, again." No, it was all like, "Oh, so what's the distraction now? Oh, so this is staged. Okay, we're doing this again. This is the third time."
yeah.
Like, not all these people are bad shots. Like what? Like, and I was like, they're the energy of right now, like universal consciousness, is like,
Mm,
we're not buying it. We're not buying it.
yeah.
So I just thought that was kind of interesting too. And but then that goes back to David Wilcock, because people aren't buying it, then why would he have
Mm,
to kill himself? You know what I mean?
exactly. Exactly. And I do get a lot of the there's not a lot of these people that are bad shots, but if you look at some of these people that are taking the shots, they don't go out and practice headshotting people on a daily basis. So, I mean, even a sniper in the military has bad days, but they're usually
Right.
spot on.
Not that many bad days, right?
No, not that many bad days at all. So you gotta
Right.
think, who are these people that are doing this, and why are they doing this, and what is their background, and let's research and go down that rabbit hole and see more about what's going on and what's happening.
Right.
And then you got the, hey, look at this hand while they're doing something in this hand that's
Right.
behind closed doors, because that's what the GOV does. They want to make this shiny
Yeah.
little thing sparkle for you while they do something else behind closed doors.
The people aren't buying it this time, and I just thought that was like
Mm,
really interesting, because even conservative people aren't buying it right now.
mm-mm.
Even his
No.
own supporters aren't buying it, and I'm like, okay, so they're gonna try to do Project Bluebeam. We'll try it.
Mm,
We'll see how it lands.
mm.
Um,
What you know about the mass hypnosis stuff that happened back in World War II,
yes, yes.
and how easy it was for them to do that just with papers and word of mouth and things like that. And you got to look at this day and age of social media and news outlets and
Mhm.
everything else. How quick would it be to actually do a mass hypnosis of people if people are so tuned in to social media and the news network, and instead of those that actually take the time to do the research, like
I think
compare.
people, I think people now, I think the problem is, and this is something that a lot of propaganda doesn't take into consideration, is that before, people had this innate trust in whatever they saw was gospel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now people know about MK Ultra, people know about other psyops, right?
Yeah.
We know about mass formation. So I think we question things more. Everything we see, we question more. And I think that's the difference. I think people that don't critically think will buy it hook, line, and sinker. But
Mm-hmm.
there's going to be a huge part of the population that's going to be like, no, mm-mm. And they're going to question it. And it might be only 25%, but they say that in order to create change, you only need 10%.
Yep, that is very true. That is very true.
So if you have 25%, 30% that are like, not buying it,
Mm-mm.
TikTok will be all the buzz, and that will be the enough. So I don't know. I don't think, I mean, I think we're in a simulation, and I definitely think we're all being brainwashed to a certain degree. I mean, um, my friend is doing this book. It's called The Big Black Book, and it basically forces you that there's all these different ways you have to do these exercises, and it's forcing you to look at your own programming. And she's
Mm-hmm.
been telling me about it, and I was like, wow, there are so many ways that we're being programmed that we don't even realize.
Um,
And
and it starts from
yeah, and she's
childhood.
like, yep. And she's like, it's really scary going through this book, because I'm literally having to look at everything that I do. And she's like, I didn't realize how much of my life is all programming.
Oh my God, isn't
And I was
that
like, what do you
sad?
do then? What do you do if you're not being programmed? She's like, I don't know. I'm kind of in a little bit of a crisis right now, because like I don't know what's on the inside of this. And
Oh
like
my
you're doing it to
God,
yourself.
the world
Your
is
choices.
scary.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
why everybody's like, so what scares you most about the paranormal? Nothing really. It's the humans that scare me, not the
Right.
paranormal.
Yeah. The paranormal is pretty basic.
Yeah, it is. So where can my amazing community find your books, find you to get a tarot reading, basically stalk you in a totally non-creepy way?
So funny enough, I don't use a lot of social media. I know. So my website is the best way to do it, which is heatherashera.com. Everything is on there. All my projects, everything. I'm also on Facebook. If you want to stalk me there. If you want to, like, I have a lot of people that message me on Facebook and say, "Hey, I saw you on so and so." Because but you can just email me on my website too. But for whatever reason, people love to like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Hey." Those are really the two big places. My podcast is everywhere. It's on YouTube. It's on Rumble. It's on anywhere you listen to podcasts, Spotify, whatever, wherever you go.
What's the name of your podcast?
enviousalien.com. enviousalien.com.
Sweet. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Don't go anywhere. I know I kept you over the hour mark, so I don't want to keep any more of your time. I'm gonna have to get you back because we now got to talk about UFOs and Bigfoot because you mentioned that, and I didn't have any questions for that. So we're gonna come up with questions. So I'm also gonna send you that Calendly for a muck, so you can come on a muck as well. So don't go anywhere. Those that are watching, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. If you have any questions for Heather, like she said, you can always go find her at repeat it again. It's Heather Ashera.
My website is Heather Ashera, or it's actually that on Facebook too. It's Heather Ashera Woodward. So either one works.
And go ask her if you want a tarot reading. That's where you're going to be able to find her to be able to ask for that. Thank you again so much for watching. Always stay free, stay safe, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye, y'all.
Switch it on and come along. Haunted houses all night long. Gaming streams and ghostly scenes. Just chatting with the in-betweens. IRL, she's on the case. Finding spirits in each place. Every game she plays with flair. Geeks, paranormal, she's there. Ghosts and games all night. Geeks, paranormal's bright. Just chatting through sunrise. Trying to stream, it's quite a sight. From the haunted house she flies, gaining worlds under the skies. Chat and laugh, let's have a blast. Geeks paranormal here at last. Ghosts and games all night. Geeks paranormal's bright. Just chatting through sunrise. Try to stream, it's quite a sight. From the haunted house she flies, gaining worlds under the skies. Chat and laugh, let's have a blast. Geeks paranormal here at last. Ghosts and games all night. Geeks paranormal's bright. Just chatting through sunrise. Trying to stream, it's quite a sight. In the dark she finds the light. Streams so fun, she's out of sight. Every ghost and gaming fight. Geeks paranormal shines so bright. In the dark, she finds the light. Streams so fun, she's out of sight. Every ghost and gaming fight. Geeks paranormal shines so bright. Ghosts and games all night. Geeks paranormal's bright. Just chatting through sunrise. Try to stream, it's quite a sight.